moving forward. There are a lot of distractions in life, and there can be a lot of people, the noise that comes in this ear and the noise that comes in the right ear. And each day is another step towards your goals, another step in achieving what you want to achieve in life. This message is a message for everybody that watches this channel. You know, it can be very easy to get wrapped up in negative energy. And I'm learning in my later years to recognize negative energy and expel it away. You know, the same way you would expel energy if you were a martial artist and you use someone's energy against them to send them away. And, negative energy can come from family. It can come from friends. It can come from yourself. It can come from the world around you. It seems like, sometimes it comes from the people closest to you. Sometimes your family can be a source of negative energy. And, I've dealt with my share of that. I've dealt with people that were negative influences in my family, and I've dealt with outside negative influences. And, and I've also dealt with the influences in my head that were telling me, do this, telling me to do the wrong thing. Now, it can be very easy, and I'm guilty of it just like anybody else, when, an emergency arises or something drastic happens. It's very easy to react with emotion. And a lot of times reacting with emotion is not the good thing to do. It's best that we take a step back, realize what's going on, realize that we're dealing with some kind of negative energy, and step back and assess the situation. And when things are going positive, sometimes that's when the most negative energy can be directed at you. And, look, I think it's wise in life to stay on a path, find a path, whether it's, your work or your social life, or, learning guitar, or, working on music. It's important to stay on a positive path. Find a path that works. And, this could require pivots in life. You might have to change directions. You might have to change genres. You might have to change bands. I was always the loyal guy that stood by the bands that I played in. And I wasn't what we used to call it, a band jumper, a guy that, goes to a band and then another band starts up and they would jump over to the other one. But I did notice, man, in the long run, some of these band jumper types, they would jump into situations that were positive. They would get into something and see that it's, hey, this is only going to go so far. And they would jump into a position or a band that, was on their way up. So, being willing to change, being willing to assess the situation you're in and pivot and make some changes, the same way a martial artist would pivot in his moves, that can be a wise thing to do. And being loyal to a failed situation, being loyal to family members that are bringing negativity, that can be detrimental to you in the long run. And being able to analyze a situation and see it for what it is, understand what you're dealing with, and being able to step aside or step outside or set up boundaries. Boundaries can be a very valuable thing for your mental health. If you've got issues inside your head, where your negative energy is, causing you to doubt yourself or to doubt your abilities, you're going to have to somehow set up a barrier inside your head to turn that off. Every time you get those negative thoughts, turn that negative energy off, because, man, it's going to do you no good. There's so much negative energy, and the comparing yourself to other guitarists or other musicians or other players and stuff like that can be part of it. That can be a negative energy that will stop you from doing what you want to do. And look, man, everybody knows that it only takes 3 chords and the truth to write a great song. So, you know what? It really chops, and all this stuff that people focus on online, that's part of the guitar community, and that's probably, on other instruments. I'm sure there's people that focus on technique and all this kind of stuff. And man, but if you get wrapped up in comparison, man, that can be some of the worst negative energy that you will have to deal with. But look, man, you've got to stay on the path of progress. Sometimes that means taking a fork in the road and going somewhere else, trying something different. Look, we all have different abilities. We all have different skill sets. And, just like me, look, man, I could go and start playing gigs for $100 in Florida. And, I just feel that nothing different would happen if I did that. If the right playing situation comes up while I'm down here in Florida and the money's decent and I like the music that I'm playing, then I'll go do it. But just going to do it, to just do it, that's a young man's game. And I don't want to waste time, because I feel like what we're doing here with this channel is great things. Sharing perspective, sharing knowledge that I've gained, and passing it on to the world. This may be the greatest recording that I've ever played on. And think about that. Think about that. Okay, yeah, there's a couple records I played on behind me, and a tour that I played on, and it's all documented for that. And look, there's plenty of people on my channel, whether it's Joseph Wooten or Lance Morrison, or upcoming this Sunday, the Keith Howland from Chicago interviews. All guys that know me, all guys that I've worked with, played with, and and they know me and know my playing and all that. There's plenty of that, but all of that is really meaningless. And probably the main thing that I'm going to be known for is sharing my wisdom here on YouTube. Look, there are people that find this very soothing and very therapeutic. Well, let me tell you something. It's very soothing and therapeutic for me to come in here and talk to you straight from the heart. And, I've had to deal with, some negative energy recently, and it's not just, internet nonsense, because look, all of that talk, all of that internet stuff is absolute nonsense. And there's nothing wrong with anybody else's playing, and there's nothing wrong with my playing or your playing or anybody else. And I'm not trying to clout chase, and I'm not trying to, knock people down or any of that, because that is negative energy. And I don't want to be engaged in that, because I'm on the rise, and hopefully everybody else is on the rise as well. It's better to focus on how you can help people than focus on clout chasing and all these other, things that seem to be going on right now. And, here's the thing. We've had some issues with some family members that are causing a lot of drama and a lot of negative energy. And I just had to, tell my wife, look, we've got too much good going on right now to engage in this. And perhaps sometimes what you're dealing with is jealousy. And, I can honestly say that some of these family members, they're actually giving advice that would cause you to fail. Why would they be doing that? Why? It doesn't make sense to me, because I would love it if everybody in my family, both on my side and my wife's side, succeeded in achieving their goals. I want everybody out there to focus on achieving your goals. Stop focusing on everybody else and every little thing. Look, I'm nobody. I don't purport to be anybody. And, you know what? I'm just doing my thing. I'm that little ant that's carrying that grain of sand each day. Each day I'm just walking across the sand, carrying that one grain of sugar or whatever I found. And I'm taking it back and I'm building my house. I'm building my house one little grain of sand each day. I'm doing the work. And that's what's important. None of the outside family nonsense, none of the outside internet nonsense, none of it matters one single bit. And that's the reality. We have to stay focused on the goal. The goal for me right now is helping people through this channel, helping people navigate the back end of life, helping the youngsters learn from my mistakes and learn from the knowledge that I'm sharing on this channel. I am nobody, but I am everybody. I am also just like everybody else that watches this channel. I'm just a guy who loves to play guitar. And that's all there is to it. That's all I am. That's all I am, is a guy who loves to play guitar. But I've found through this channel that the best recording, the best playing that I can do right now is telling my tales here on YouTube. And, man, it's a valuable lesson that I've learned, putting the guitar down. Imagine being a YouTube guitarist, and the greatest recordings that I make are recorded with my phone, recorded, straight into the phone, looking straight into the camera and talking and telling the truth, telling people how it is, and sharing experiences. Because, man, there's nothing I love more than reading your comments. There's so many great comments, so many great people reach out. Man, some of you inspire me to get up each day and do this. Because, man, I got up this morning at 4:40 in the morning. I'm not sure if there's anybody else that's getting up and doing that work. The only time in my house when it's quiet and I'm able to shoot these videos with the vibe and feel that I want right now is right now. At any moment, Ace, our little family dog, could bark, and that could be the end of my session, because I got to go take care of him. But, man, don't let the negativity, don't let the negativity stop you from achieving your goals. Don't let if your family's being negative, man, set up boundaries. Keep them at bay. Say, I'm sorry, but I cannot deal with this right now. And you walk away. Look, you know what? And it could be a girlfriend. It could be, your friends. It could be your best friend. Here's the thing, man. When you start to do great things in life, there are going to be people who are jealous. There are going to be people who wish you would fail. And they see themselves deep down inside. They see themselves as a failure. And that's why they're clawing at you and throwing negative energy. And I don't want any part of it. I don't want to focus on the negative. I want to think on the positive. Just the other day, I hit 12,000 followers, subscribers on YouTube. Man, for me, for an old dude who's way past his prime, who's an old road dog, an old, club, beating up the clubs and all that. Man, that's an amazing achievement because I am nobody. I am nobody. I don't purport to be anybody. I don't purport to do some secret things, behind the scenes or all that. I'm just a dude who loves to play guitar, and that's all I am. But I'm staying on the path of positivity, and I'm going to continue on this path of positivity and get up each day and do the best I can. And that's what I want exactly out of you. Get up each day, focus on the positivity, and do the best you can.